Hi guys, it's Nadia from Xi'an Admissions, and today I have Adit from India, one of our students at Xi'an Admissions who helped to apply for the master program at universities in Beijing and also in Chongqing. I hope his stories and also his experience studying in China will inspire you and will make you consider studying in China. Where are you now?
Oh, I'm in India, in Ahmedabad, at home.
Okay, at home.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I thought you're supposed to be in XJTLU Suzhou, isn't it? But you went back.
Yeah, but I went back in like January 10th, as soon as my exams got over, and I thought I'll be back in February, and then all of this happened, so I got stuck.
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah, and it's funny, normally I choose not to go back. I choose to stay, and this was the one time I chose to go back, and this happened. So
Right.
in all of the previous spring breaks, I didn't go back, and this one I went, and it was just bad. Yeah.
And it was and you don't know when will you come back to Beijing. Sorry, to China, but yeah, hopefully soon.
Yeah, I hope to. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, thanks for spending your time with me today. And for your information, this video interview will be recorded. Okay. And then what we plan to do with it is that we plan to publish it on our social media platform, and hopefully your stories will inspire more international students who are interested to study in China. Sure. So yeah, thanks a lot again for your time and also for spending your time and effort as well to do this interview. Sorry, I think I'm the one who's like a little bit nervous and not you.
That's all right.
Right. So shall we start?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. So first of all, can you tell us more about yourself?
Sure. So I actually came to China after I had finished a really brief period of playing football in Europe. So education was never my main goal actually, but then in the end, when things weren't working out, I decided to come and study in China. It also happened out of coincidence. The reason to come to China was not strategic or anything like that. It's just because my brother had some Chinese friends, and he said that why not you go and study in China? It's really things are looking up over there, and the economy is rising, and there are a lot of opportunities. And I said, okay, I have no option. And I didn't think for myself at that time. So I just decided, okay, I'll go to China and study. And I actually looked up a couple of universities, and I was already 23 at the time. All right. I started quite late, and I saw that XJTLU was giving this dual degree, and that was fantastic because I thought that, okay, I can have a Chinese degree, and if I ever come back to Europe or something like that, I have a Liverpool degree also. So that's the main reason. And then I just started looking up how Suzhou is and how Shanghai is. And it looked so beautiful in the first instance and so developed. So it was a very quick decision. I applied for XJTLU. And I think the process was quite fast. Within 5 or 6 days, they already told me that I'm accepted. So I didn't look anywhere else after that. Yeah.
Oh, when did you first came to China for study?
This is in 2016. And I entered China on the 24th of August.
So you will be graduating from your bachelor this year, right?
Oh, I've already graduated.
Oh, already. Congratulations, Adit.
Thank you.
Right. So how was it? I mean, like during the 4 years of studying in China so far, what was your experience? How are things looking for you? And then what did you gain from studying in China?
Sure. Okay. So actually, my first year in China was kind of like very stereotype, like how, because I hadn't really interacted with a lot of Chinese people before in my life. I had just heard about them. And so I tried to do the usual things, which is like stick to international students in the beginning. Like I think the first 3 or 4 months, I stuck to just international students. So we have a huge number of exchange students from Liverpool. And then we have a lot of Indonesians and a lot of South Koreans, right? And I noticed this common pattern. The Indonesians always stuck with the Indonesians. And the South Koreans always stuck with the South Koreans. And then the British people, the Liverpool students, also just stuck with the British people. And I was confused because there were not enough Indians. So I just quickly entered one of their groups. but then there was so much of negativity in them against China. They always said that Chinese students are not talking, they're not friends, they're not doing this. And sooner or later, after 3 months, I felt like this negative feeling is going to creep inside me, and I don't need that right now. So what I did after 3 or 4 months is I started detaching myself from the international student community and started diving into the Chinese student community. And I have to say that the experience was fantastic. They don't talk much, I agree, but if you become their friends, if you give them time and you're patient about it, you'll see that they're as smart as anyone else, and they're as critically thinking and creative as anybody else. It's just that they don't say it in the first instance. And international students just say what they want to say, even if they're wrong. And so I started finding myself becoming very friendly with Chinese students. So by the end of my year 1, I was already having good Chinese friends. And that allowed me to take part in a lot of competitions with the Chinese students. So in my second year of XJTLU, I started entering a lot of university-led competitions only with Chinese students as my teammates. Of course, everyone is not perfect. I had problems with understanding them, but I like pursued myself to be really patient with them. By the end of it, I think the opportunities that I got in XJTLU specifically was fantastic because I threw myself at everything. And because I learned that because I was with the Chinese students, you know, I somehow already got inside information about how the Chinese judges think, how the Chinese teachers want you to provide the results. Yeah, and I got these cultural insights. And that was fantastic because that led me to win some competitions, lose some competitions. I started having a bigger, better picture. And overall, and in terms of life in Suzhou, I think it was really convenient, especially Alipay. Alipay and Wechat. I find it really like a step up from the life that I have witnessed in India. You know, like India is, I think, about 30 to 40 years behind China right now. And the fact that I can walk around anywhere in Suzhou, not carry my wallet. I can always. Shanghai is just not 30. They say it's 30 minutes by the fast train, but actually an hour when you actually enter Shanghai, right? So once you enter Shanghai, it's so international and friendly, and there's so many events that taking place in Suzhou and Shanghai simultaneously at the time. It's really helped me to grow from a business perspective. Yeah, are you there?
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
there.
see your
Yeah.
screen is just stuck. Oh,
No,
okay. Yeah.
Cool. It's
Yeah.
such a cool experience. Can you give us like some more insights on like how to, for example, how to make friends with the Chinese people? Like especially from your experience, how did you make friends with them? Do you learn Chinese to do that, or I don't know, like what kind of approach do you use?
So in my first year, of course, we have compulsory Chinese language classes, right? But I have to say that it didn't help me so much because it was only one semester. So I wasn't able to focus on it. And the moment I came into my second year, we have so many business modules that we can't really focus all our time on Chinese language. But I have to say another good reason as to why I probably become very friendly with Chinese people is because I have a Chinese girlfriend.
Cool.
So yeah. So and I still have a Chinese girlfriend. So and that's I really like it as well. So but leaving that aside, you know, people should be judged separately, not just because they're from one country. I think the one trick that I always use to become more and more friendly is that I just spend more time with them. And you know, their Chinese people are a little shy. They may not stare at you and say hi, or if they say hi, they will say it from a distance. So I started going up to them. And I started asking them about how they think about experiencing mixing with us. And the funny thing is that they're always curious asking us about Chinese culture. Instead, I asked them what they thought about international students or India or Liverpool specifically. And it turned out that they were as curious as I am. So it's just about being able to find a common topic. And you don't listen to your international friends all the time, like, because they will fill your head with a lot of different things. And then if you take that into your mind, you will never be friends with them. So I used to ask my friends, like mostly males, not females so much, males, that, hey, do you want to go have some dumplings? Or could you show me where this is? Or could you show me what's good about Suzhou? Can you show me what are the nice things to eat, see, do over here? And those are the little things I think that they really appreciate that I ask them that. And that allowed me to roam around with them on campus a lot. They took me to different Chinese restaurants and show me what they prefer to eat and stuff like that, you know. And in return, actually, not being selfish, in return, I got so much help from them, from basic things like going to the police station for registration, going to renew my residence permit. I could just ask them for even 1 minute on WeChat that, hey, could you tell me how to do this? And they would just literally, they're really hospitable and understanding. They would literally ask, do you want me to come with you? And obviously my first response would be that, well, if you're not doing anything, then you can. And that's how we become more and more friendly, because they actually assist me with a lot of things. But during that assistance, they talk so much and I talk so much. So then normally on campus, I'm always with Chinese friends, also Taiwanese friends, but yeah.
Cool. Thanks a lot for the useful sharing, because I think this tip will be very, very useful for all international students who are studying in China, right? Because like, at the end of the day, you need to make Chinese friends because you are in China. It's very beneficial not only to know people from like other countries, other international countries, but also to make friends with people in China. Right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I always see like people make their own communities, right? And that's wrong. Like it's good to have your own community, of course, but it's better to have a multicultural community, like mixed people.
I agree.
That's better. Yeah, that's better. And you get to learn. Yeah. The other thing I learned academically that I'm not a Westerner, I'm Indian, but the majority of the Western students or international students, they have a different outlook for business ideas, right? And then if you want to live in China and pursue your career in China, you need to have more Chinese friends, because the Chinese perspective of business is different. And that cultural aspect is different. If you don't learn that, you can't even take part in the competitions, because you won't be able to present it in the way that a Chinese judge wants it to be. And they are the majority. So it's better to understand them rather than your Western judge. Yeah. So that's helpful in every way. Yeah.
Totally. So I heard that you are already accepted to Bfsu, right? For the master's program. Congratulations, Adit. And you're now waiting for the announcement for the Uibe as well?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I just want to ask, like, what makes you want to pursue your master's degree in China? Why not, let's say, go to Europe and then pursue your master's degree there?
I think there are two core reasons for that. So the first one is personal, because since I have a good and very stable relationship with my girlfriend, so I do want to pursue, pursuing and spending my life with her, and that one wants me to go and live in China. I mean, if she wanted to go somewhere else, we would be open for that too. But I personally do want to go. So one is a personal reason. The second reason I think is it's also kind of personal and professional. I think being in XJTLU brought about the best in me, which I had not experienced anywhere else, right? So I have that kind of strong bond and connection with China. So it allowed me to see who I am. The second reason I would say is that I like the pace of life in China, and yes, I know people have a problem with the way China is seen by Western people, right? They will say that you don't have enough freedom or blah blah blah, and then in the Western country you will have freedom. I personally have not experienced that. I've had all the freedom I ever wanted or needed in my life in China, and especially when it comes to business, the decision making in China is so fast that's what keeps me attracted there. And the one is decisions. So when you're in a Western country, you probably have to reach out to with an idea, and a lot of people will voice out on it, right? A lot of people will, but and the decision, I know, you know what I mean, right? The decision making process, because it will be up for debate and endless debate probably. Even in a country like India, there will be so much of hierarchy and bureaucracy to get the right thing, and I never saw that much in China. So especially when I was pursuing this. I'll give you one specific example if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Like, I was always constantly pursuing the recycling waste and the waste segregation in my time in XJTLU, right? And I think I made a lot of noise about it on campus. And at the same time, our campus was moving very slowly with it. But at the same time, I started noticing that the Chinese government, on the other hand, was moving very fast with it.
Right, that's right.
I brought the alignment of the government with my idea to my university, and that's when they had to move faster with it as well. And today, Suzhou has implemented the waste segregation from, I think, 2 months ago. They implemented it officially. So for me, it was like really a win-win situation. I was pursuing a goal, and literally the country's government is pursuing the same goal. And it happened at such a blistering pace that I was really impressed. The same thing if I tried in my country or in a Western country, I don't think it would happen at that pace. So decision making definitely stands out for me. Yeah. And then I have this curiosity that I want to kind of like, let's say, prove to people that, because my brother lives in the United States, and he has such a different picture of China. Like every time I have a call with him, he's always criticizing. So I feel like there are not enough people outside the country, outside China, who really understand China. And I would like to be that bridge to show whether it's my brother or it's anyone else, to show these people that that's not the case. If you just visited China or you understood China from a deeper perspective, then you will know that all of this criticism is of no use. So it's kind of curiosity to prove that point also. So I have my personal and professional reasons, but you can see my personal reasons are weighing more than the professional reasons.
I agree. But yeah, I agree. Like sometimes you need to visit China first to like break all the stereotypes that you had, right? Because I've been there as well. I had all these stereotypes about China, but once I visited China and live in China, it's like everything changes. My mind changes, right?
And I miss it a lot, and I can feel that every day. So I can feel the urgency I have, and I want to go back. And like nothing here is impressing me anymore, because they're far ahead in everything, right? So nothing here impresses me anymore. Yeah.
That's right. So you mentioned that you really like to live in China, right? So can you tell me like what's the main differences that you feel, for example, with you living in your hometown in India and also with your experience living in China?
I think I have to say the first and foremost, the most important thing I have felt when I came to China was the convenience in all aspects. I think, of course, payment comes as the first one, but in terms of, if I compare to India, I will definitely say the infrastructure is one of the most important things. Because I know that India and China started literally at the same time, like when the opening up of the economies and the reforms started, we started at the same time. So I've always tried to understand since 2016 that why have they gone at such a pace so fast, where they're somewhere here and India is still over here. So that's one. So I like the infrastructure that I have, especially in Suzhou, like where I live in the Suzhou Industrial Park. I literally have everything around me. And even though I live in a student dorm, it's better than the community that I live in over here, a student dorm. And the facilities that I have, the safety, just even people's friendliness, I think compared to India, is that they're at a whole new level, literally at a whole new level. But infrastructure, convenience, the local buses, the subway, we don't have that. Like in my city right now, we don't have that. Even if you send me to India's best city, I grew up in Mumbai, which is supposed to be India's, like a really good city. But I would say comparing Mumbai and Suzhou, Mumbai is still 30 years behind, because Suzhou is at a next level. So people compare like Mumbai with London and New York and Shanghai. They should stop doing that. They should just stop. Yeah. So I think the convenience of life and the infrastructure and every day, once I start living in China, right, like having a job and starting to settle down, I don't think I'm so interested in buying a car, because the subway system is so good that I would I'd probably want to own a car, but I will not use it every day. and I'll just use the subway system. Yeah, or I'd even walk because. So another beautiful example is the greenery. I know China was criticized for like pollution problems, but there's so much greenery now. It's improved so much. Like the walk to my school, there are so many trees that I've never felt that the air is polluted. Even though my friends outside of the country always ask me that, are you dying with some lung cancer or something? And I said, not at all, like not at all. So those kind of things, and see, people don't know if they don't actually come. So those kind of things, and every 10 meters or 5 meters, you'll see a dustbin, right? Yeah. I don't see that in India. It's almost impossible. You won't see that in India. So I love that. So it's like the city is forcing you to be clean. Yeah.
Yeah, you are so right. I have like the same feeling as you. All the convenience and all that.
Yeah, I have so many Indonesian friends, right? I told you the other day from Bandung and Jakarta. So we make all the comparisons between Mumbai, Jakarta, and then Shanghai, Suzhou, and we laugh. We spend so much time laughing.
For sure, they should. If they ever compare Jakarta to Shanghai, they should stop doing that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, can you tell us more about your future plans?
Sure. So after my master's.
Yeah, after your master's.
Yeah. I think, but I will still start with master's because it's still going to be in the future, right?
Yes.
I think during the master's, and I like the fact that in China the master's is 2 years. So even though it may seem like more time to others because UK gives you 1 year master's, but I think that 2 years is really important because that's the time that I personally plan to get as many internships as I could to start building a network for jobs in the future. And I think for sure I want to find a job immediately after my master's, like preferably if I can on campus, like through the on-campus interviews. I definitely, and I would hope that I can get a job in a Chinese company if I can, because they have so many international operations as well. But if it's an international company, I don't mind, as long as I would hopefully be stationed in China. And I want to work for the first, 5 to 10 years or something. And then I want to pursue my PhD, but also in China. So the end goal is to teach. But many years later, many years later, but not immediately, like not one after the other. But the end goal is to teach also in universities in China if I can.
That's good. That's cool. But yeah, I think it's a good idea to come to Beijing because there are a lot of companies, like both Chinese companies or international companies, who are always looking for international talents, whether to be positioned in China or to be positioned elsewhere, like globally. Yeah, so it's a good decision to come to Beijing. Right, so next up would be about your experience with China admissions. Yeah, we would like to thank you for trusting us and helping you to apply to Chinese universities like Bfsu, Uibe, and Chongqing University. So how do you like our service so far? Could you describe your experience?
Sure. So of course, I think I asked around and did some checking on the internet on Google as well of China admissions before I actually made the final transaction. And I saw quite a lot of good testimonials from students and on the website. So that half convinced me. Then I asked the most of the international students in my university who are doing their PhD or masters, because they have stayed in China for like almost 6 to 7 years now. So I was sure that they may have heard of you, definitely. And I asked them, and a few of them had definitely heard of you. And they said, yeah, sure. If you want to make for sure that you get a university, then that's good as a backup plan instead of trying to apply by yourself, because maybe you don't understand the universities as good as they do. And that's one of the values that I got from China admissions the most, because I remember having this conversation with you. I think this is late 2019, right?
Yeah.
I was aspiring to apply in like Zhejiang, Shanghai Jiaotong, and like top universities. And I remember you told me that it may be difficult, And at that time, my percentage was only at 66 or 67. So this is when I thought that, okay, it may be better and easier if I let you guys give me that assessment. And then I asked a lot of my Chinese friends as well and international friends who study in these universities, the top universities, and they said it may be difficult for you, so you may not guarantee yourself a place. So that that assessment that you guys did and give me the options, and there's still 985, 211 project universities.
Yeah.
That was of great value to me. And when I started looking into UIBE and Bfsu, I think that because UIBE especially is located in an area where the Beijing Business Center is, right?
Yes, it's close to embassies and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, and those kind of things really stand out for me. So yeah, that was of huge value for me, getting that information from China admissions. Because to be honest, if I didn't, I think I would just focus on some universities in Shanghai, because that's all I know at that time, right? Suzhou, Shanghai, Shanghai. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks a lot for all the feedbacks and for the, like good experience. We are happy that we managed to deliver a good experience to you as well. So yeah, last but not least, do you have any suggestions or tips for international students who are looking to study in China in the future?
I would say ignore the social media and ignore the international media, and try to find friends who have actually been there and studied there. And at the end of the day, you should still try to trust yourself, because it depends on how we use international media and social media. But if you don't critically evaluate your own thinking, then it's no use. So, but moreover, I hope that any international student can actually have a talk with you guys first. Like if it could be a Zoom call and you could give them insights about what China is really like, that is more needed than you just talking to them on WeChat or WhatsApp, or asking them to visit your website. Like setting up a free consultation, 1 or 2 free consultations, so that they actually, because when I see you, it's easier to understand I can see your face, I can understand your emotions. I know that you won't be faking it, right?
Okay,
but
right.
if I'm talking to you on WeChat and you just guide me to your website, who knows, you're faking it and just doing it for the money, right? Yeah, so I think that personalization point would be very important for future students. And I think that's something you could offer to them as well.
Sure. Yeah, we are offering that as well. But yeah, we are doing like the WeChat, the WhatsApp free consultations and all. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. I think we should be doing more of this, like face-to-face interaction with the students.
Yeah, because it'll give them a greater insight or better insight rather than just directing them on WeChat or WhatsApp.
That's right. Cool. Thanks for the suggestions, Adit. Is there anything you'd like to add before we end the interview, or anything you want to ask me?
No, I'm all right now. I'm just patiently being the most patient form of myself and waiting for some news. That's all.
See, me too.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for 7 months.
Are you at a cafe now? Yeah, this is August, right? So it's 8 months now since I came. I can't believe it. But,
I left in January as well, like close to the Spring Festival, a few days before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's my problem. Like I left on the 10th of January. By the time it was 10th, there was no news about COVID-19, right?
Not really,
Yeah, I wasn't able to make a decision. If I left sometime in like 30 January or 1st Feb, I don't think I would have come back, because I would be able to know that my country may not be handling it as well as they will. And that's true now. That's true. That's really true. So I just had a bad luck in timing, not of decision making, but timing. So just learning from that and living with that now.
Yeah, it's okay. It's time for us to like enjoy our home country for a while.
Yeah. But it's just a matter of time, right? Things will get better.
It's just a matter of time.
I also saw you did your master's in UIBE, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So how did you find out about UIBE? Through China admissions?
No. Weird enough, I actually found it from my boyfriend. So yeah, because he went to China like a year earlier than me, and then he studied at UIBE. And then so I was applying to like multiple universities besides UIBE. But one of the reasons why I wanted to go to UIBE is obviously because of my boyfriend. And then,
so personal.
It's so personal. It's a personal reason. But then I also like do some research and all that. But I thought, yeah, UIBE, it's not that bad. I mean, it's quite famous. It's in a 2118985 projects and all that.
Yeah.
And it's funded by the governments and all that. So it should be like a good public universities.
Yeah. Okay. But then, so you definitely see yourself in China in the future as well, right?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, right now I am working in China, so
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a good experience. I mean, who knows? I'll be this far in China.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. I think that's it. Thanks a lot, Adit, for your time. Really, thank you.
My pleasure.
Really.
My pleasure. Thank you as well.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Wear a mask every time you go out. Okay.
Of course. You too.